This is Jason. Welcome to my garden, actually. This is my garden here in my house here in Los Angeles. I come out here every morning and have my coffee or my tea or my breakfast, and I play with my dogs, and I read a book and sit under the sun, and it's really nice, and it's nice and private, and I like it a whole lot. So that's that. I asked people to send me questions just recently, and I have gotten a lot. There have been some left in comments, and then I've gotten a bunch of emails. I'm going to try to answer everybody like I always do. I really do try to answer all those emails. It's getting a little bit more difficult as time goes on, because I'm getting a whole lot more, and that's really cool. So I'm gonna keep trying to answer all the emails and questions that I get, but it is getting more difficult. But I got this one today that really broadsided me, and I think a lot of us have probably been through this. I'm going to give a link to the Your Turn post, which is where these questions kind of are coming from, and you can read this guy's full question. But essentially, he's a college freshman who did come out in high school, and it really didn't work out very well for him, so he went back into the closet, and now he's in college, and he's totally closeted, and he's dating girls, and he's really miserable because he says that his family will never accept him. He says that his friends will never accept him, and he says that he's basically living this lie for the benefit of other people. And then he says something that really broadsided me, which is that he said, "My friends are honestly the greatest thing that has ever happened to me." No, they're not. Your friends, in fact, are not your friends. They are the friends of the guy that you are pretending to be. And you don't even like that guy that much, so why would you want to be friends with anybody who would want to be friends with him? That's not who you are. You're not only pretending to be somebody and something that you're not, you're pulling other people into it. Being in the closet is one thing. Using girls as furniture and props in your life, really not cool. Really, really not cool. I realize that you're 19 and you're just growing up and everything, so take it from a guy that's been there. Eventually you gotta kind of man up and start taking responsibility for your own actions, start taking responsibility for your own life, and stop using other people to help you lie, especially when they don't know that they're doing it. So you gotta stop doing that. That's step one. Step two is, you say that these people are the best thing that's ever happened to you, but why? They're causing you misery. They're making you live this life and do these things that you don't even like doing, because if you don't do them, they're not going to be your friend. Well, they're not your friends, right? I mean, friends just kind of accept friends for who they are. I mean, I have all sorts of fucked up friends in my life, and I just kind of accept who they are, and I might not like everything about them, but I've never told anybody how they should live their life, and I would certainly never want to be friends with somebody who, isn't going to be my friend if they find out, who I am. That's that thing. The actual crux to the questions, where he finally gets to it, is, how do I go about telling my friends? What will their reactions be? I mean, it's impossible. I don't know your friends, but I can tell you this. The best way to come out is kind of, sort of how you dive into a swimming pool. You just gotta kind of do it. Telling people that you're gay is kind of like knocking over the first domino. Once you've done it, it spreads really quickly and it goes out of your control, which means that you kind of have to be ready for everybody to know about it very quickly. So therefore, you should just kind of sort of start living like that. Are your friends going to react negatively? From the sounds of it, yes. They probably are. But there's different ways that you can kind of deal with that. See, I found that it's all in, it's kind of in how you tell them. Like if you want to come out to them and make a really big, huge deal about it, like it's this earth-shattering, earth-ending thing, it's ruining your life, you're miserable, you're this, you're that, it's a really big, huge, dramatic thing that they should care about, then they will. If you just kind of go, guys, listen, you know what, I'm dating this guy, whatever, I want to bring him to the next party. and you don't make a big deal out of it, like if you don't make a big deal out of it, they'll kind of take their cues from you. Usually. They kind of react that way because that's how guys kind of do things. They react in the way that they're expected to react. So if you let them know in a totally nonchalant kind of way, they might actually deal with it really well. You said, should I even tell them at all? Well, I mean, maybe you can just let them figure it out for yourself. Or for themselves, you know, when you start dating guys. Or maybe you should just kind of find a better class of people to hang out with. And I mean that. I don't mean to be like an asshole, but I'm going to be an asshole. Your friends aren't your friends, and they're not even really nice guys. I mean, you say that there was another guy that they were friends with, and it turned out that he was gay, and they just stopped hanging out with him. What kind of friend is that? Who wants someone like that in their life? Friendship is supposed to be sort of an unconditional thing. So, anyway, there you go. I love it when the monarch butterflies come into my garden and they're all flippity-floppity over there. It looks really pretty, and I like it. What do I tell the girls I've been courting? That's a rough one, because when you find out that the guy wasn't really interested in you, he was only doing it to use you and impress other people, they're not going to take it very well. You know what? You kind of dug your own pit there, and you're going to kind of have to, you know, sit in it for a bit. Sorry, there's no other way around that. How do I ever deal with being able to tell my parents? That's an interesting one. Because, see, I could never come out either. Because my parents, they were never going to accept having a gay kid. Until one day I finally split open on them and told them that their way that they were reacting to me was killing me. And that I was either going to have to completely walk away from them and disassociate from them forever because it was killing me, or they were going to have to deal with it. And you know what? They dealt with it. They joined PFLAG. I made them do that. Okay? You gotta be proactive with this. You have to drag them kicking and screaming into reality. You have to take them to PFLAG meetings or make them go to PFLAG meetings. You have to get them to discuss having gay kids with other gay parents, because this is uncharted territory for them. And it's not going to be easy, but you cannot back down. Don't give an inch. Do not allow them to ostracize you. You have to remind them, I am your son, and you have to accept and love me regardless of whether you like me or not, because that's their duty. Once you're really hardline with them, they start to realize that they can't beat or starve the gay out of you. And, you know, this might even help with your sister, too, because apparently your sister is also a lesbian. That's going to be a bit of a double whammy, and I'm not going to tell you that that one's going to be easy. The end of the story with me is that my parents now march in gay pride parades. They're more out than I am. They run the PFLAG meetings now. They, you know, a gay community in the little town that I grew up in rural Canada. So anything's possible. But you have to make it happen. And you have to make these things happen, all of these things that we've been talking about, by showing a little backbone. It's time to stop being that little teenage boy that you were in the past and start being the man that you've become. See, you're 19 years old, and I'm a teenager is only going to work for a few more months. And, well, you got to be a man. And men are the ones who take responsibility for themselves. They live lives on their own terms. And they sometimes own up when they fuck up. And that means admitting that, yeah, you used some girls as cover, and you're sorry that you did it, and you will understand if they don't forgive you. But that's just what it is. With your friends, you're just going to have to come out and say, I'm gay, and there's nothing you can do about that. You can either continue to be my friend or not. But the ball's in their court. And that's it. Oh, here's the other thing. You're going to be able to meet plenty of people out there who are perfectly happy to have a gay friend. Lots and lots of them, in fact. So don't ever think that just because your own little immediately, circle of friends aren't going to be able to handle having some gay friends, that they're the be-all, end-all of your world. When you are changing everything in your life to impress a little microcosm of people, you've kind of lost at the game of life. So, time to suit up and get back out on that field. I actually just made a football reference. I'm kind of impressed with myself.